Good afternoon and welcome to 55 Plus Live. My name is Nick England.
And I'm Leela Peg.
And today is Tuesday, April 6th. It's April.
Yay, we're in April.
April. The sun is shining, the flowers are in bloom, the pollen is in the air.
The pollen is in the air,
Yes.
the cherry blossoms are blooming, the tulips are starting to come up. I have tulip bulbs. They're starting to come up a little bit. Not the actual tulip, but you know, you can see the little green leaves coming up.
Fun stuff.
Yeah, and all the daffodils. There's like a ton of daffodils.
I know. Great time of year. One of my favorite times of the year. And
especially in DC.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes, exactly.
In the DC area.
Cherry blossoms being so close, I feel like it's like the theme throughout. You just notice them everywhere. Beautiful.
Right.
And speaking of things blooming, we're talking a lot about gardening today, right? Like lots of fun things coming up for our program.
We thought we would kick off the spring with just talking about all the beautiful things happening outside. Hopefully you guys are getting outside more and enjoying the weather. Still a little chilly in the mornings, but we've started outdoor programs, which is exciting. And speaking of outdoor programs, I just again wanting to remind everyone to please register for outdoor programs and not just to count on showing up the day of the program, especially if it's a free program, because we now have a policy that we have to have at least 10 participants in an outdoor program to actually run the program.
Right.
So please register because then we can definitely see those numbers. If we have 10 people, we'll run the program. If we don't, we have to cancel.
Exactly. Register and register early if you can. If you know of something that's coming up, as soon as possible, go online, give us a call. There's lots of ways that you can register. And we're gonna flash that little contact information up on the screen here as well. So you can follow our website or the phone number for the registration hotline.
Yes, 703-228-4747 to register for outdoor programs. And just if I could plug some at Virginia Highlands Park, we've got Tai Chi on Mondays, 10 to 10:45. We've got line dance on Fridays, and we have needlecraft starting in April. And that's also at 10 o'clock outside on the pavilion on Mondays also.
Very exciting.
Yes.
What else is new this month?
Let's see. People are celebrating. There was Passover last week, and there was Easter this past weekend. I don't know. How did you celebrate?
I just got together with family. We had a really small little shindig.
Nice.
And it was great. It was really nice to see family. Most of our family actually everyone in my immediate family has their first shot. Yay!
Yay!
So it's good. Things are looking up for sure. So yeah. How about you? Anything for Easter, Passover, anything like that?
Yeah. So we just had our my in-laws over for like Easter early dinner and did like an egg hunt for the kids.
Oh, that's fun.
My in-laws also just got their second dose, so they feel really good about coming to visit now.
That's great.
So it was nice to see them and feel like things are starting to get a little more normal because we were actually able to have them inside.
Yes.
And share a meal. So
all those little traditions that not everybody got to do last year right around this time, right? The egg dyeing, the Easter egg hunts, all those kind of stuff. So it's nice to have, to be kind of, blooming into spring for sure.
And I talked to some of our 55 plus members on one of my programs last week. Some of them had gone to the tidal basin to see the cherry blossoms, said that everything is blooming and just beautiful, and that it wasn't crowded, but they were actually able to walk around the tidal basin. So,
which is like impossible to do
in
a normal year.
I know.
That's true.
So I don't know. I might still try. To do it.
Yeah.
Like get up super early in the morning.
Yeah. For sure.
I don't know. We'll see.
Me too. I've been thinking about it.
We
have just a little bit of time left. So
right, exactly.
Get out there if you can. Great. So we have a great show coming up today. We're going to have Sydney with our program, 55 Plus program forecast. We have Elizabeth with our front yard interview. We're talking about the Walter Reed Garden, the Cherry Blossom Walk. That's really exciting. And of course, we're ending the show with our top 5, and our top 5, your top 5 favorite places to visit in Virginia. So it's a really fun one today. So stay tuned for that. First, we're going to go to Sydney Reed with the 55 plus forecast. Take it away, Sydney.
Thanks, Leela and Nick. I'm Sydney Reed, and I have your program forecast for the next 2 weeks. We've got lots of programs to discuss, so let's get started. We're going to start out with Wednesday, April the 7th. Get outside and enjoy spring weather with a 55 plus walk. On Thursday, the 8th, meet with a Virginia Cooperative Extension Master Food Volunteer to learn about the benefits of eggs in the program Nutrition. Excellent. On Friday, the 9th, enjoy a walk along the Mount Vernon Trail to see some cherry blossoms. This program is titled Cherry Blossom Walk. Just be aware that this is a program that's for anyone who is aged 18 plus, so it's not a specific 55 plus program, but it's that time of year to take in those cherry blossoms. Going into the next week, starting with Monday the 12th. We have a couple different options for exercise classes, and those include yoga, tai chi, and beginner's Latin dance. Please note that any program with an asterisk indicates that it's a fee-based program, so make sure that you sign up for that before you show up. On Tuesday, the 13th, join a Virginia Cooperative Master Gardener volunteer in the program Container Gardens. In this program, you'll learn about a great way to garden if you have limited outdoor space, so if you live in an apartment or just don't have much of a backyard. If you are the executor of a will, there are several steps you must take to complete the responsibilities associated with that role. Join elder law attorney Ed Zetlin as he reviews the steps necessary for closure of an estate in the program Steps of an Estate Administration, and that's on Wednesday the 14th. Next, on Thursday the 15th, enjoy one of Arlington's many great parks in the program Drumming Circle in the Park. Finally, closing out that week on Friday the 16th, get your body moving with Kukua African Dance or Total Body Fitness. Again, remember that you must pre-register for these fee-based fitness classes, and spots fill up pretty quickly. So if you don't get in this time, try for the next guide cycle. Hope you all are able to find something that I've mentioned that you can enjoy, and I'm going to kick it back to you, Nick and Leela.
Thank you so much, Sydney. What a great forecast coming up. A couple more things that we want to mention. Biography Best Bets coming up on Thursday. That is a really cool looking program. It's with Arlington Public Libraries, talking about some of the latest biographies of famous celebrities, politicians, entertainers, and historic figures. So if you haven't signed up, feel free to check that one out.
Yep, and then Sydney mentioned the Cherry Blossom Walk, which Andrea Walker, we have on the show today, we'll be talking a little bit more about. But that is just part of a bigger event, which is the Cherry Blossom Festival, which is basically a bunch of virtual and outdoor programs and events that are happening, just during, I guess, the same I guess, time period as the Cherry Blossom Festival in DC.
Yeah.
But it's here in Arlington, and there's all kinds of events happening all around Virginia Highlands Park. So you can check that out. We'll put the website up the webpage up where you can get all the information on how to register for those events. So don't miss celebrating cherry blossoms this year.
Great.
And I think that's it. Now.
Yeah, now we'll run over to Elizabeth, who has got our front yard interview.
Hi, and welcome to another segment of Front Yard Interviews. I'm here with Pam Stratton, a longtime 55 Plus member. Hi, Pam, welcome.
Thank you very much. Glad to be with you.
So, how long have you been gardening and what got you started?
I have been gardening since I was a little child. My parents were my first images of doing that. We had like 100-foot garden, very large, and Dad grew vegetables, my mother grew flowers, and then
Wow.
we canned the vegetables and all that. But moving forward, of course, I'm interested in talking about the Master Gardener
Yes.
program.
Yeah, you're a master gardener, so can you tell us about that?
Yes, the way I got into it was I had been volunteering all the years that I worked at the State Department. But once I retired, I was looking for something to do where I could give back to the community in greater ways. And so what happened was I had been volunteering at the county's annual fair, and I was registering the plant exhibits and things like that. And what happened was there was an emergency that a judge didn't show up. So they asked me would I be a judge. And then people started asking me, what are your qualifications? And well, I knew a lot about plants, having been the registrar for quite some time. I discovered there was such a thing as a Master Gardener program. So I signed up for the Master Gardener program after that. And the requirements of that are you must take 45 hours. When I took it, you took 45 hours of classroom education. And then your obligation after that was to perform 45 hours of volunteer work.
Oh, wow.
But the education is so interesting, and I don't want to miss saying that it's more than just plant identification or plant diseases or insects and all that. They do climate change, they do urban agriculture, they do food insecurity, and you know, the big picture, small picture, everything. So it was really an in-depth education, and one that I really appreciate. And it was free except for my written materials.
Wow, that's
so
fascinating.
then after the initially becoming eligible, I became a Master Gardener. And then after that, your requirement is 20 hours of volunteer work a year, that's a minimum, and 8 hours of continuing education for yourself. Mm-hmm. So that's my story.
Oh, wow. Well, that sounds fascinating.
Right.
I mean, if you're interested, everybody should look into that.
Exactly. I wish they would.
Yeah.
And so getting into the plants, I wanted to show you my favorite plants.
Okay.
In the vegetable department, you're looking at Swiss chard in these pots.
Oh, wow.
And what's so wonderful is that all you have to do is scatter your seed, up comes the Swiss chard, and I can pluck these leaves off and put them in my salad and do that for the entire season. And then I don't pull out the plants. These are last year's plants.
Oh, wow.
So they have come back in the springtime, and so I can go right out here tonight and pull off some more leaves and just keep going.
Wow.
So it's not really meant to be a perennial, but it is in my garden. Because
great.
you can see it's a little bit of a microclimate back here. And then my favorite flower, you really can't see because they aren't blooming.
Okay.
But these are iris in these pots, and I'm going to be giving those away.
Oh, great.
But the iris, they can be short, they can be tall, they can be but they're statuesque. They're stunning, and they come in every color of the rainbow. And what they have in common with the chard is they're very easy to grow. They're like surface dwellers. Their roots do not go deep. And so that makes them just easy to grow, easy to propagate, and
looks like easy to share.
Thank you. And they're all over the yard. These just happened to be, I was on a plant rescue. A house was being torn down, and all these irises were just going to be thrown in a ditch.
Oh,
so
gosh.
I rescued these, and that's why I'm going to give them away. But my yard is full of them in all kinds of places.
Oh, great. Well, thank you, Pam,
And,
for...
Well, I have one more thing.
Sure.
You asked me about our garden tips
Yes.
when we talked before, and I wanted to emphasize that you have to know what kind of flowers or vegetables that you want to grow when you're just getting started. And so I want to recommend that they go out to our public gardens, the ones that the Master Gardeners support. They're there for you to learn, what you want to grow and get advice from people. So I have worked in almost all of them, but currently I work in the sunny garden and I work in the shady garden. I spent about 5 years in the vegetable garden, and I have helped at Glencarlin from time to time. But go out there and look around, see what you like, and then, piece de resistance, get a soil test kit. And when you fill out the form for the soil test, you say what kind of plants you're going to grow. You take some soil from your yard, you send it off, and back comes a wonderful report that tells you how you need to amend your soil in order to grow those types of plants. So that would be my tip to anybody that wants to just start a garden.
Wow, that's great. I didn't know that. I've been gardening for a while, so I guess I'll have to send my soil off.
Absolutely.
Well, thank you, Pam, for joining us.
You're quite welcome.
Happy gardening, everyone, and back to you, Nick and Leela.
Thank you, Elizabeth. Another awesome front yard interview. And now up next, we have Marilyn Martin. She is a member of the advisory committee at Walter Reed. And she's also one of the volunteers that coordinates the care of the Walter Reed Sensory Garden. So Nick will be talking to her. They have actually just done a garden cleanup for the spring, and she's going to be telling us more about the garden.
Hello, I'm Marilyn Martin, and I'm one of the volunteers here at the Walter Reed Garden. I hope you'll be able to come and see our garden this spring. We have an all-year-round garden, but spring is obviously the best time to see it. If you can't see it in person, you can also go to the 55 Plus YouTube channel to see the garden from last year. But if you can't come by this year, we have a lot blooming in the spring. Right now there's daffodils, there's some pansies. You're going to find some good color right now. But if you wait about 2 weeks, it's going to be blooming and it's absolutely lovely. So I invite you to come and see it. I also invite you to come and help us if you'd like to. We're always looking for new volunteers. So if you'd like to come, tools provided, instructions provided, no previous experience necessary. Give Sydney Reed at Walter Reed a call, and she'll make sure you know when our next garden day is. So please, enjoy.
All right, thank you so much for that interview. Thank you, Marilyn, for giving us an update on the Walter Reed Garden. It's so beautiful. If you have a moment to volunteer or just even check out the space, it's really great. Up next, we have Leela, who is interviewing Andrea Walker, who is the leader of the Fast Forwards, or a leader of Fast Forwards, and she's leading the upcoming Cherry Blossom Walk. So we'll go now to Leela and Andrea. Thanks.
Hi, everyone. I am here today with Andrea Walker. She is one of our volunteer walk leaders with Fast Forwards at Aurora Hills. And she has also just logged a lot of mileage around Arlington County, just with walking and leading all these different walks. And we are here today on a beautiful, although windy, spring day in Cherrydale, which is in North Arlington. And Andrea is going to tell us a little bit more just about celebrating spring and enjoying the spring through walking and just kind of seeing all the beautiful blooms. So Andrea, tell us, what are some of your favorite springtime walks in Arlington?
Quite frankly, it's the neighborhood walks. Arlington has just an absolute wonderful job in terms as far as decorating all our neighborhoods. On Ridge Road where I live, it's just been a wealth of blossoms, you know. First the cherry blossoms, now the red bud, now the Bradford pear. It just continues. So whatever your neighborhood is in Arlington, it's going to be beautiful. And I highly recommend this brochure. It's called Walkabouts, and it is your neighborhood walk in Arlington. And so that, for example, one of the neighborhoods is Dominion Hills. And then you might not think that much of Dominion Hills, even though it's a nice neighborhood, but what is it going to distinguish? Well, one of the things that's mentioned is that, you know, this is where Shirley MacLaine and Warren Beatty grew up.
Wow.
And that's because the neighbors in Dominion Hills went and created this walkabout. And that's true for all, I think there's at least 15 walks, neighborhood walks. And I can't recommend this enough. And please, you know, you can go on the Walk Arlington website, and I can also give you a copy.
Okay. Well, so we are here in Cherrydale because on the Walk Arlington website, specifically, there is a map because this is a great place to view the cherry blossoms. And speaking of these beautiful cherry blossoms, right now we are in the midst of the Cherry Blossom Festival at Virginia Highlands Park. And Andrea is going to be leading that cherry blossom walk on April 9th. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yes, we're going to go and meet, at the best place possible there. Virginia Highlands has a lot of attractions, but one of them is the bathrooms, and we are going to meet at the bathrooms. And we will start there, and then we will go ahead and take a look at the petal porches that are all through the neighborhood, and then we will go over to Crystal City Water Park, and we will see some of the sculpture, and then that's where we get on to the Mount Vernon Trail, and so we'll be able to go to Gravelly Point and see. Hopefully there will be cherry blossoms, April 9th, but nevertheless it's going to be beautiful and along the Potomac.
Yes, thank you so much, Andrea. Right now we are in peak bloom, so yes, we might, April 9th, peak bloom might be a little bit over, but go ahead this week and try to get out and see some of these cherry blossoms and enjoy some springtime walks.
Right. Like right here,
Just
where we
right
are.
here in Cherrydale.
Right.
So thank you so much for joining us, Andrea.
Oh, it is my pleasure.
All right, and we're back for our final segment, which is
Top five.
Today we're talking about favorite places in Virginia.
Yes, and it's such a great time, right? Because Virginia is, well, a lot of places are beautiful during the spring, but I feel like Virginia is, it's so pretty.
yeah.
It's just such a beautiful state.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, you grew up in Virginia.
I'm born and raised in Virginia. I went to Radford. I'm from Lynchburg, and I now live here, and it's in my blood, and I love Virginia.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have a bigger fanboy than me.
Right,
so
right. I mean,
yeah, this is an exciting topic.
Yes, I mean, it's horse country.
Yeah.
You've got
You
beaches,
got the mountains,
you've got
the
mountains,
beaches.
you've got so many, and so many great cities and little towns.
Right.
And now that I feel like, things are starting to, restrictions are being lifted a little bit, that this is a good time to travel. Maybe you might not be traveling internationally, but you can drive an hour
absolutely.
or 3 hours.
Like even I don't know if it's on our list, but like the Skyline Drive, Blue Ridge Parkway is absolutely gorgeous. It's a great way to socially distance, see the country, and it's a beautiful road. And there's so many colleges and universities and history and all. Anyway, let's get to our list.
Yes. Okay. So again, this was from one of our surveys. So you guys submitted your favorite places to visit in Virginia. So number 5.
Number 5.
We have is
Fredericksburg. Yeah.
which I was just talking to Nick earlier. I've never been to Fredericksburg, but
It's so close.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You were.
Yeah, I have some friends that went to University of Mary Washington, and I actually lived in Colonial Beach. Have you ever heard of that?
I have heard of it.
It's like a little coastal town on the bay, or right at the mouth of the Potomac. It's beautiful. Anyway, it's very close to Fredericksburg, so we would go there a lot, and cute little downtown area, lots to do, some breweries.
Look how cute this is.
Yeah.
It's just the main street is so
Yeah.
cute. And Fredericksburg is what, an hour?
It's like an hour, depends on the traffic on 95 south, but lately it's not very far at all, honestly, so not too bad. Good little getaway for a day.
Yeah, so drive an hour to an hour and a half and go explore this cute little Main Street area. Probably a lot of good shops and restaurants.
Yep.
Okay, let's go to number 4.
Of course, Old Town Alexandria and Mount Vernon, our neighbors next door for sure. I mean, who doesn't love an evening on King Street?
I know.
Especially they've redone a lot of the waterfront down there too. It's really gorgeous.
The waterfront is beautiful.
Yeah.
And probably a lot of you, have been to Old Town and Mount Vernon, but maybe not recently. And anytime I go to Old Town or Mount Vernon, I feel like, because I haven't, we don't go all the time, so it's always like a really great place to visit. I just think, and the seasons are different too. So in spring, it's beautiful, and different things are blooming at different times.
Yeah.
So yeah, Old Town and Mount Vernon, and I feel like we're so lucky to have.
Yes. All
To
this
have
history, all this like cool stuff right at their fingertips for sure.
Cool historic places to visit. Okay, so number 3, both Charlottesville and Monticello were submitted. So I kind of put those together since they're close.
Yeah.
But again, another great college town.
Yes, beautiful. Right there in the mountains. So I really like the Appalachian Mountains. I feel like they're kind of special to me. And I know like people are like, oh, the Rockies are so cool, but I think the Appalachians are pretty cool too. But yeah, Charlottesville is like a cool little town nestled right there in the valley. And Monticello, Thomas Jefferson's home and all of his inventions and everything. It's a very cool area. UVA is there, the beautiful campus.
Right. And so many vineyards and breweries around
That's
there
true
too.
Yeah, some really good breweries right
Yes.
there too.
And great hikes.
Yes.
So just, make a day of it. I know this is a little bit further, so it's like, what, 2.5 to 3 hours?
Yeah, I would say so. Again, it depends on that 66 traffic
Yeah.
for there in 29. But yeah, no, Charlottesville is a great little getaway. You could do it in a day.
Yeah.
There's probably some cute little hotels that you could stay as well. I think there's enough to do for a couple days, really, if you're looking for a little weekend getaway too.
Right, because you could visit Monticello on your way to or from Charlottesville.
Right. Yeah.
And there's James Madison's house. It's
James.
also an Monticello. Thank you.
Where?
Thank you, Sydney. Montpellier. Montpellier.
Montpellier. Mount.
Oh,
Oh. Okay.
Montpellier. Okay.
Montpellier. James Madison.
Which is also
Harrisonburg.
beautiful. Yes, and
Okay.
it's not far from Monticello.
Oh.
Right?
I've never been there. I've never been there. I need to go there.
But that's beautiful too. I haven't been in ages, but yes, less visited than Monticello, but not far from there, and also very beautiful.
Nice.
Okay, so Charlottesville. The next one is not far.
Great Falls Park. Yeah.
Falls Park.
Beautiful little area. Nice little hike there. Yeah, very well traveled, not very far.
Right. And if you wanted to do something different, the Maryland side is
Yeah.
also spectacular.
Oh, yeah.
And you have to walk a little bit, you have to walk a little bit further, I guess, to where you park on the Maryland side. But it just, gives you a different view. And I love seeing people on the Virginia side.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah, and people waving. But it's walking along the towpath, the C&O Canal. And it's just another nice place to visit.
Yeah.
In Great Falls Park, if you're a hiker, not far from there is Riverbend. It's Riverbend Park. You can park there. It's got a really nice visitor center. And you can hike about 2 miles. It's pretty flat to Great Falls. So if you just wanted to get, a round trip, 4-mile hike in, Riverbend Park is great also.
Great.
But Great Falls is just so, I can't believe that we have this in our backyard. Like
I know.
Just the gushing falls.
Yeah.
It just seems like, I've never been in Niagara Falls. I know it's
No, I
nothing like
haven't
that, but
It's our Niagara Falls.
it is our Niagara Falls.
Niagara Falls.
It's so true.
All right,
It's beautiful.
number one.
Number one,
Drum
and you kind
roll.
of talked about it a little
Oh, I
bit.
did. Yeah, Shenandoah
did.
National Park. Oh my gosh! And these pictures just tell it all, right? Like, look at that sunset and those mountains and the greenery, and it feels like home to me. I
Yes.
love it. It's beautiful.
We are really so lucky to have this.
Yeah.
Again, it takes an hour to get to the closest, I guess, point of entrance into Shenandoah.
Yep.
So easily a day, but you can also stay and enjoy it. And you were talking about Skyline Drive, like
Yeah.
just
So beautiful.
just
So many
drive
hikes and
that.
like just like even if you're not super able, just like it's like places, scenic areas to pull off and have a little picnic lunch.
Right.
And gosh, I don't know if people still do that, but it seems like like an awesome thing to do.
I
And
think they
I'm having
definitely
nostalgia
do.
right now. I think I'm wanting to go.
You need to take a little spring
I think should.
break
Yeah,
yourself and
that's right.
do the drive. But yeah, so many places to stop over and look at these beautiful. I think
Yes.
this is where these people took pictures, is just from
Yeah,
driving
it's
Skyline.
Beautiful. Yeah.
And during the sunset, I would love to see it during the sunset.
Oh yeah.
So yes, hopefully this has inspired you to take a trip. If you, probably many of you have gone to some of these places, but maybe you haven't been since 2 years ago, because I know last year no one was going anywhere.
Yeah, and thank you guys for submitting your answers. This is such an awesome list, and we love hearing from you, and we're looking forward to new ones as well. We got some fun stuff in the pipeline for next show, right?
Yes, yes. So our next show is April 20th, and since it is National Pet Month, we are going to dedicate that show to our pets, and we would love for you to share your pets with us. So we have a new survey. It was in last week's e-news. We hope that you submit the survey if you have a pet, and we especially would love you to submit a picture of your pet, and that would be you can send that to me, to my email. It's lpaig@arlingtonva.us. Please send us your pictures, and you might make our top 5.
Yes. Well, so exciting. Guys, thank you all so much for watching, and we will see you next show. Bye.
Bye.